80 to 92% of you girls and guys watching this video are gonna absolutely mess up your New Year's resolutions as you go into 2025. You're gonna fail 2 weeks into January, and you know that deep down within yourself, okay? And chances are, if you're watching this video, you also dream of having that 6 to 7 figure a year business that can allow you to travel the world, live a life on your own terms, and do exactly what you want. And chances are you also dream of having that physique. And you also know consciously the habits that are going to be serving you, such as meditating every day or studying every day. But for some reason, you just can't seem to do it. So in this video, I'm not only going to be showing you how to permanently reprogram your mind into the habits that you want, but also explain the reasons why you always seem to fail and how to actually overcome them so you never go back to your old self again. The first reason why a lot of you people are failing to get after the goals you want and to actually stick to the habits that you set yourself is simply because you set the targets way too big. Now, I'm a big believer in having a massive vision and actually getting after very big goals and thinking big. However, when it comes to reverse engineering those goals into monthly actions, weekly actions, and then daily actions, you must understand that you can either really mess yourself up by setting big targets, or serve yourself by setting smaller targets that are going to allow you to progressively overload in a way where you can constantly feed the upward spiral that you're going down. Now, the best example I can give of this is, let's say it's your first time ever stepping into the gym. You might go to the bench, and let me tell you right now, if for the first time you set yourself the target of benching 100 kg on a barbell, that barbell is going to come straight down onto you and crush your ribs, and you're going to be like, fuck man, I'm never coming back to the gym again. And that's the exact same problem that you're having with your habits right now. Because if you're setting yourself a target so big that you're simply setting yourself up to fail, then how do you expect to continue sticking to that habit if you're constantly going to be operating in a state of lack and in a state of separation because you can't seem to hit the target? Okay, let's say another example. If you want to meditate every day and you instantly set yourself the target to meditate for an hour on a daily basis, but you've never meditated before in the past, how do you expect to hit an hour every day if you can't even do 5 minutes? So that's the first issue that a lot of you guys are facing, is you just set too big of a target, which means that you fall back to your old self because it's way more convenient to go back to what's easier. Your brain is always following the path of least resistance. Now, the next big problem that I see with a lot of you guys and girls watching this video is that you simply want instant results. You don't understand that there's a delay between you right now and the version of you who already has these habits instilled into their subconscious mind. And a lot of you need to realize that there is short-term pain and long-term pleasure, and then there's short-term pleasure and then long-term pain. So you kind of have a choice here. Do you want to go through the short-term pain to have long-term pleasure where you set yourself up for these habits which are going to be automated routines which are going to constantly serve you, almost like an investment that just pays you on autopilot? Or are you going to continue with your old self, having short-term pleasure from little dopamine hits like scrolling on YouTube or Instagram and eating junk food, reaching for the snack cupboard, going out with your friends clubbing? This is the reason why a lot of you people are messing up. You choose the route of short-term pleasure and you fall at the most minor inconveniences. Let's say you're out at a restaurant having a family meal, the dessert menu comes and you instantly fuck up because you have a dessert and you know that you should be tracking your macros and actually eating healthy. Or let's say you're on a weekend, you know you should be working on your business, you know you should be getting an early night, and your friends call you up and they push you to go out to a nightclub, and before you know it, you're out and you're drinking your fucking life force away. That's your fucking problem. You're choosing the short-term pleasure. So you must reframe it in your mind and choose the long-term pleasure and be okay with going through the short-term pain. You must detach from the reality around you, detach from your environment, detach from all of these triggers. And I'm going to be explaining what these triggers can be a little later in this video, and you're going to understand it in a lot more detail. However, let's dive into, I believe, the third thing, which is causing you to fuck up and fall back to your old self. And that's that you're too attached to the outcome, okay? You simply want the outcome so much that the version of you in this present moment feels lack, and therefore you're never going to get that thing that you want, okay? Let's say you're so focused on making 100K per month in profit with your business, maybe even 10K per month in profit with your business, you're so focused on having that thing and wanting that thing that you're not giving yourself permission to feel it right now. Okay, so what you must do is detach from the outcome and marry the process and understand that the journey is the destination. You're not going to feel any different when you make that £10,000 per month or that £100,000 per month, whatever the number is, okay, until you give yourself permission to feel that thing right now and just trust and accept that you're on the journey to that destination. When you order something off Amazon, do you always check your emails and always check the tracking to see if it's going to come? No, you just trust that it's already done. You just trust that it's coming to you. Trust the universe, trust God, it's already delivered, man. Detach from the outcome, marry the process. Final point here is that you have a severe lack of accountability. You don't have a support circle around you that's helping you, especially if you're in a household where your family is constantly causing little triggers in you, especially if you're in an environment where your friends aren't really serving you, they don't really have awareness of your own goals, so they don't really keep you accountable, they just keep you stuck on the same level that your old self was on. What you need is accountability, and you need a support circle of people around you. Otherwise, you're always going to go back to your old self. And this is one of the biggest things that helped me to actually go ahead and hit consistent streaks of 21 days, 60 days, 90 days, 100-day sprints, where I literally do the same thing every single day. I'll even put it up over the screen right now. You'll see there's been sprints over the span of literally like a year where I've just woken up at the same time every day. I go to the gym every single day. It's automated habits, and I don't even have to think about it at this point because it's so deeply embedded into my subconscious. It's literally a part of who I am. And this is the level that you want to get to, and I'm going to explain exactly how you can get to this level where you don't have to think about what you must do to be your higher self and get your goals in life. You just do it. Now, before I go ahead and explain how to overcome all of these problems and make this permanent switch in your mind to make these habits so easy that you never fall back to your old self, you must first understand exactly what a habit is. A habit is very simply an automated subconscious behavior formed by a cue, routine, and a reward. Okay, every single habit that you have on a daily basis is formed by this structure. And let me give you a few examples. Let's say when you wake up in the morning, if you're someone who struggles to get out of bed, chances are your routine looks like this. Your cue is the alarm that goes off. Your routine is you look at the alarm, you pick up your phone, and you instantly hit snooze. And then the reward is extra sleep, and you just fall back into bed and you're all comfy and nice and warm. This is obviously a habit that isn't serving you. And on the flip side, if this was a habit that was serving you, you'd have the cue, which is the alarm. The routine would be you instantly get out of bed, you drink some water, you take some deep breaths, you maybe do some push-ups, and then your reward is you get downstairs and maybe you have a coffee. And you can see how the difference between two subtle changes in the routine can make a huge difference in basically the entire trajectory of your day and the entire trajectory of your life. All right. If you understand that your brain is a goal-seeking mechanism, and at the end of all of these habits, there's a reward, that means that you can reverse engineer the habits that you want into your life and make it so easy and so rewarding for you to do the things that you know deep down are going to serve you, that will become your hygiene standard, and you'll simply do it without thinking. So I want you to think about right now a few habits that you want to track on a daily basis. I'm going to set the target of 3 habits for you, and these 3 habits, okay, these are my suggestions, is to wake up at a set time every single day, meditate every single day, and do some form of exercise every single day. These are the habits that I followed on a daily basis, and these habits will literally raise your frequency, raise your vibration, and set yourself up to literally smash your day and everything else when it comes to business, when it comes to family, when it comes to relationships. These habits are literally the core foundations, okay, because your brain isn't compartmentalized into just one little thing. Like, you can't just focus on the business and still eat junk food. Like, my guy, that junk food, okay, the literal shit that you put in your body is gonna fall into your business, all right? Because whenever you do have a business problem, it never really is a business problem. It's just a personal problem. That's another little side tangent. But those are the 3 habits that I would set for yourself. And you can even look at the current habits you have right now. All you need to do is just simply look on a daily basis at exactly what you're doing from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep. Write it all down on a piece of paper on an hourly basis, and you'll pick up that every single day you're basically just doing the same thing over and over again. You wake up, you snooze your alarm, you then wake up even later, and then you go downstairs, you have the same cereal, you pull out the same stuff from the cupboard, you brush your teeth in the exact same way. So you can understand and become aware of all of this, and then go ahead and reprogram it by using the cue, routine, reward structure, and choosing rewards that you know are also going to serve you as well. What I do when I wake up is my cue is my alarm. My routine is that I instantly get out of bed and I do some push-ups or I do some breath work. And then my reward is I get downstairs, I have a coffee, and then I get into my garage. Or I take my pre-workout and I get into my garage and I work out. And then let's say for meditation as well, the cue could be that another alarm goes off and you actually go ahead and you sit down, you meditate for 5 minutes, maybe you do a round of breath work or you do a visualization, and your reward can very simply not even be an external thing. It could just be feeling gratitude for yourself. And let's say when you're working out, your routine or your cue could be that you get into your gym clothes, and then your routine could be that you actually get into the gym and you work out, and your reward could be a protein shake, right? You can see how you can structure things to truly serve you. And if you're aware of the things that aren't serving you right now, you'll see that there's little things, right? Like maybe a friend will text you, your routine is that you reply to the text and you fall into what they're saying, and before you know it, you're out clubbing. Maybe another cue is that you're in a restaurant, the dessert menu comes, and like I said, you just fall for the trap. Become aware of these things and you can instantly replace it. Now, to kind of summarize that little section, what you want to do is just very clearly write out your new cue, your new routine, and your new reward for all of the new habits that you want to track. I recommend those 3 that I just mentioned, but if you want to add more, you can. And the next thing that we're going to be talking about now is how to literally guarantee success so you never ever fall back to your old self. First things first, start small and focus on consistency over intensity, because consistency is something that compounds. You can go as hard as you want for 2 days straight and then fall off for 2 weeks, but you're not going to reprogram your mind. You're simply going to fall back to your old self. Every single day, the more you repeat new actions, new thoughts, new feelings, you're going to be firing and wiring new neurons in your brain, and you're going to basically make this a new habit, okay? You're going to have way more new connections in your mind, turning it into a subconscious routine, okay? And once it's subconscious, that's when you don't need to think about it. For the initial first 21 days or the first maybe even 90 days, you're going to have to think about it a lot. And that's why I suggest setting a super small target every single day and just focusing on the consistency, so that way you can build the habit without falling back to your old self. Next thing is marry the process, detach from the outcome. When you marry the process, you understand that every single day you show up, you're getting closer and closer and closer to your higher self. And eventually it's just going to click to a point where it's so subconscious that it's just normal, and it's almost as normal as you just having shoes in your cupboard that you put on every morning. Detach from the outcome. The journey is the destination. Okay, understand that, just accept that belief as true and just let go. Next thing is once again focusing on the short-term pain and long-term pleasure. There will be short-term pain, okay? There's going to be some element of resistance that comes up when you're focusing on yourself and you're focusing on new habits, okay? Because when you focus on yourself, you're going to be reclaiming your power from all of the things that have been stealing your power from you, such as your family, such as your friends, and you're going to experience these little tests because the universe simply just wants to be comfy and cozy, and it wants equilibrium, right? The universe and your mind just wants to go down the path of least resistance and just do what it's always been used to. And as soon as you step out of alignment with what the universe and your mind has always been used to, you're going to see that it's going to start to try and push you back into alignment, so that it's safe and it's comfortable. Maybe you just all of a sudden have a lot more junk food in the house, or maybe you experience distractions when you're meditating, or maybe for some reason you just can't seem to get the energy to work out. What you must do is just push past all of these little resistances and little tests, and once you overcome these tests from the universe and from yourself, you're going to prove to yourself, okay, I'm worthy of this. All right, and then you're going to start feeding the upward spiral. It's going to become even easier and even easier. So understand that these tests will come up, but when you're aware that they're tests, you'll know exactly how to react, and you'll start reacting like your higher self, who already has these habits and already has this discipline, and you're just going to get after it. It's going to be done, and you won't fall at the minor inconveniences. Next thing is to understand the compounding effects of consistency, especially if you're someone who's going to have business habits or if you're going to have fitness habits. You must understand that for the initial first 21 days or first 60 days, you might not actually see anything happen in your external reality. And understand that this is normal, okay? Because if you search up even the net worths of the most wealthy individuals on this planet, you'll see that the chart will simply go up like a hockey stick effect. It will be a flat line for many years, and then boom, it will just shoot up out of nowhere. And that's simply because there's going to be a lot of internal work. There's going to be a lot of things that are changing within your subconscious mind, and what's impressed into your subconscious mind through repeated auto-suggestion repetition, through repeated thoughts, feelings, and actions, it's going to get eventually expressed into your reality. And as soon as it becomes so normal that you feel within that you already have that thing, regardless of whether you can see it or not in your reality, that's when it's going to come and that's when it's going to happen. Final thing that I want to touch on is the power of accountability. Accountability has been the number one thing that's allowed me to go ahead and reprogram my mind and make it simply impossible for myself to go ahead and fall back to my old identity. When it comes to accountability, there's two things you can do. You can attach pain to the old identity you have, and you can attach pleasure to the new identity you have. And if you understand that your brain is a goal-seeking mechanism, and if you understand that your brain goes down the path of least resistance and wants to move from discomfort to comfort, then you'll understand that the more pain you attach to your old identity and the more pleasure you attach to the habits that are going to be serving you, the more you're going to naturally move towards these things that are going to allow you to grow as a person, and you're going to stick to these things, okay, as a natural byproduct. And when you have a support circle around you, such as a mentor, such as even just friends or family who are on the same wavelength as you, if you just set up a system where if you mess up for one day, you have a forfeit, or if you succeed for a day, you have a little reward, then guess what? You're going to be winning every single day because you're going to be wanting those dopamine hits. If you remember back to the cue routine reward situation, the end of everything is a reward, right? And that reward is simply a feeling. So the more you feed the upward spiral through accountability, the more you're going to win. On the point of accountability, if you go ahead and message me on Instagram at MindOfKian and message me the word scale season, I will actually show you how you can hold yourself accountable and also add you to my free community where we all hold each other accountable with our habits and our disciplines, especially as we move into 2025, okay? So the last thing I'm going to let you know is as soon as you apply everything I say in this video, you're literally going to change your life. Get clear on your old self and then get clear on your new self and write out the new cues, the new routines, and the new rewards. Stick to it for a period of 21 days all the way up to 90 days, and you're literally going to reprogram your mind and you're going to be an entirely different person. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.